Apparently there's a war between YouTube and the YouTube reviewers. Cigar makers have a lot to offer the consumer at this time. There are a lot of new releases. Prices have affected Cuban cigars. Is this just the market? Is this interest? What do we have going on? Let's find out on TCBN. Coming right up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to TCBN. I am your host, and this is the Vintage Cigar News. We're going to start today with our opening topic. Is there a war between YouTube and the YouTube reviewer? Now, this is something I take personally, you guys know, not just as the new newscaster at this point in time, but I'm also a reviewer. But there are plenty of reviewers out there, and a lot of them are migrating from YouTube, going to other options, such as Rumble. How is this affecting the medium? Is YouTube really cracking down on tobacco? We know that it can't be monetized at this point in time. Is YouTube trying to push the tobacco off of the platform in its entirety? Is this a complete war? In our top story today, YouTube is apparently having a war against the cigars, cigar reviewers, and all of tobacco. Now, a lot of this is stemming from the laws that are affecting tobacco at this time. A lot of tobacco consumers are concerned about how the infused cigars are being affected. Also, how tobacco is just being affected in general. This is a difficult situation. It appears that tobacco is put in the same place as violence, firearms, pornography, and a lot more of the more difficult things that are affecting the youth and our public at large at this time. But is this so severe? Is this something that YouTube should have an opinion on? Is this something that should affect how people are being monetized? This is a lot more to see. There's a lot more to go on, and there's a lot more to be discovered in this. So please watch this space and stay tuned. In other news going forward, for Cuban cigars, there has been an increase market-wide for Cuban cigars. Now, this apparently has to do with trying to standardize the pricing for cigars. This is information that is coming out from Half Wheel. This will explain the rising cost of Cuban cigars. How will this affect the market for consumers that are in the United States, who are still affected by the embargo? This may be something for the consumers who have a taste for Cuban cigars, but this may also increase the production and the value for New World cigars such as Nicaraguan and Dominican. We have a lot to see here. Stay tuned for this space as well. In similar news, there's been an increase for the price for Illusione cigars, which is a very affordable brand within itself in general. However, starting April 30th, that just recently passed, there will be an increase for Illusione cigars. That's something that, consumers need to be aware of, and this is something that is happening across with many other brands that are out there. Noted cigar blender Rick Rodriguez is introducing a new cigar brand. Well known for his work with CAO, he's releasing a new cigar brand, West Tampa Cigars. This should be interesting. We need some new cigars in the industry. Let's keep a tab on this one. Keeping in line with the branding, Aganorsa is also updating their image with their well-known cigar brand for the Aniversario. Each of the brands will have a new look, whether it be the Habano, the Connecticut, the Maduro, and so on. It's a nice change, and some of the collectors out there may want to keep hold to some of their older cigars with the other brands. That's just a tip. In more destructive news, for Chateau de la Fuente, the Opus X brand suffered some major damage. There was a hailstorm that damaged 90% of the crop. Not sure how this is going to affect the brand going forward, but this is some devastating news for a well-storied and honored brand. This actually happened on the birth date of Carlos Fuentes as well. So this is one of those that was kind of a shock to the company and to the Fuente family. Prayers out to the family, and hopefully the stock will be okay. Hopefully everything will be okay with the family. It's bad news, but hopefully this is something that could be worked out. On to social media. And this week in social media, we had the likes of John Huber, who has some really cool things to say.
It's good Instagram Friday, aka Four Kicks Friday. So what better time to talk about this cigar? Four Kicks Capa Especial, made at Tabacalera La Alianza under the supervision of the GOAT, Ernesto Perez Carrillo. This man is iconic in the industry. If there was a Mount Rushmore for cigar makers, Ernie would be on it. He has had, over the course of 8 years, Cigar of the Year twice, runner-up once. His Legacy speaks for itself. Anyway, the year is 2011. We were working on the original Four Kicks release, which came out in November of that year. Narrowed it down to a couple blends, one of which was a Sumatra wrapper, which we went the other direction, did Habano. This is Ernie's blend. This is what the original Four Kicks would have been with Sumatra wrapper. It is a fantastic smoke. Seek it out at your local retail tobacconist. Ask for Crown Heads. Until the next one, have the best weekend of your lives. See you later.
I like to see John Huber have such a detailed and connected relationship with the consumers of the Crown Heads brand. Also on Instagram, we're showing some information from Room 101 with another anniversary release as well. This should hit the market and do some really good things. We're excited to see this. This should be an interesting release, and many people will be happy about getting this cigar. It's about time. 20 years is a lot of hard work. I have a lot of faith in Room 101, so this should be good for a lot of consumers that are out there. Moving on to new releases, we have a lot of information to give at this time. Ventura Cigars is releasing the Slaughterhouse Operations. This cigar should be released in May, so anytime now, this cigar should be available. Should be an interesting cigar, a new release, and a wonderful looking band. We'll see how this works out, see if it smokes as good as it looks. Coming from Cigar Aficionado, veteran Eladio Diaz is releasing a new cigar also, and this is coming from the Illusione brand. This is the cigar for Freud. This should be interesting. There are a lot of new cigars that are being released at this time and a lot of new flavors to be tried. So we're excited about a new release. It's looking pretty good for May, June, and July. Cigar Aficionado is also reporting that there's a new release from EP Carrillo for the Inch. This is a Nicaraguan cigar. A Nicaraguan Puro. The Inch is very popular and an interesting design for those who like larger ring gauges and a consistent blend from that. You know it's going to be a good blend coming from EP Carrillo, so this is another exciting release. Half Wheel is also reporting that Crux Limitado will also be releasing again in 2022 at the PCA. Also reporting that the Black Works Hyena is also coming back for a re-release as well. So this should be interesting for those who are into the boutique brands. Alec and Bradley from Half Wheel is also releasing a sampler with the Chunk edition. A lot of their more well-known brands will be released with this sampler in a chunk, thicker, stronger ring gauge. So this should be interesting for those who want to try a different Vitola. MSRP is supposed to be set at $74.95. Cigar Journal is reporting that Cavalier Genevieve is releasing a special event-only cigar. The blend is a 6x44 with an undisclosed blend. Should be interesting. Cavalier has some very interesting flavor profiles. Cigar Coupe is reporting that there's going to be a release for a Lancero with the Herrera Esteli brand. Boxes are reported for $194.25. There's also notations that a Habano will be released as well. Exciting news for the 22 releases. Strangely enough, reported by the Cigar Aficionado that Drew Estates will be releasing the Year of the Rat. Interestingly enough, this is not the Year of the Rat. However, this is a very popular release for Drew Estates. This is a re-release that I think most consumers will not mind the faux pas of the year and the Chinese Zodiac. I think this will still fly off the shelves and it will be another proper release for Drew Estates. And in the final news for today, Crown Heads has been selling out with their Mil Diaz Marinotos and also for the Four Kicks releases that have come recently. However, no need to worry. There are new releases that are coming for the La Creme release. And this should be out later this month. Anyway, this has been TVCN. I'm Keelan. You guys stay tuned for more news and more updates coming from all over the cigar industry. Hope to keep you guys informed. Stay locked in. Please like and subscribe for more news.